All right, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and also peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world. It's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. The brother Karatazai of Great Millstone Atlanta back at you again with another lesson. Just briefly going into the topic of Esau has it coming for him. And we have to keep, our foot, on the neck of these devils, by way of prophecies, and speaking, their demise, till it comes, First and foremost, because we have, faith and belief in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and the things that were written in the book, and it speaks of the so-called white man, losing his power. When you go to Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, around the 9th verse, speaks of Jacob holding the heel of Esau. Going into him being pulled out of his power seat, man. All right. So, nevertheless, I'm going to start off in the book of Job, chapter 20, and verse 19. It says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. This is speaking of Esau, man. It says in the book of Numbers, Esau built, their country off of blood, and it really wasn't even, theirs. They stole it from the northern tribes, man. Mainly Reuben and Gad. So it says they violently took it. How did they violently take it? By breaking peace treaties that they made, with Reuben and Gad, by killing, robbing, it's like not killing, but murdering and robbing, That's how it was violently, taken, which they built it not. And even, as of now, these devils still use the poor, which are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to continue to build their country. But what does it say in the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter? They shall build, but the Lord is going to throw it down. Continuing, it says, verse 20, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness, this is the point in verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Let's see what that word sufficiency goes into. That's right. It says hand clapping, mocking, or mockery or scorn, meaning dubious, sufficiency, stroke. So in the fullness of, of his plan, so to speak, so he's sufficient. He's reached the point to where he desired. It says he should be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. You see? So the Lord, is basically going to rain on this parade, man. The Lord's going to rain on this devil's parade soon as he's implementing, his plan, man, which is the New World Order. Starting off with the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, man. If you didn't know by now, and the scriptures speaks all throughout the scriptures. It speaks about Esau losing his power, being trapped in his snares, being that his days are determined, because he knoweth that he have a short time. These scriptures, all of these scriptures speak on Esau losing his power seat, man. All right, so that's why I opened the lesson with keeping our foot on these devils' neck, man. It says, verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bolt of steel shall strike him through. Yeah, man, because it's no running for these devils, man. Even after the missiles hit, the Lord, he's going to use his men, which is the elect, to gather up, these heathens in these other countries, and put them in order, So there's no escaping, what Yahweh Shai has coming for you, man. All right? And since I quoted it, we'll get Revelation. And verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. You see? So this devil knows that he has a very short time left, and he's working on borrowed time right now. All right? And he knows that, so he has to scatter. He has to be scatterbrained, really, to try to implement his plan. But what does the scripture tells us? Book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. You see? So there's no escaping. The sudden and said trouble, that's coming to you heathens, is inevitable, man. And we're hastening the day for it, and for it to happen. All right, to get out of this predicament that we're in. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close up by giving all praise and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.